I think this year in general, sales are going to keep growing on a seasonally adjusted basis, and then obviously we'll have year-over-year volume gains continually. There might be a few ups and downs along the way, but generally speaking, it'll rise. For the whole year, I'm still thinking of, for light vehicles, 16.8 million in the U.S. Sales. That might be a little low. That's probably below consensus right now. I am kind of on the verge of saying maybe 16.9 or 17 million this year. There are a few things that are keeping me from doing that. One of them is there does seem to be some spot shortages on inventory of some really hot selling vehicles, mainly in the crossover segments and even the pickup truck segments. The manufacturers are doing a good job of keeping inventory in line with demand, even though I think there's some spot shortages where there's been a lot of growth. In general, nobody's overbuilding, and that's why incentives are staying low. They're keeping their pricing power up for the most part. I think oil prices at some point are probably going to go back up, maybe not to where they were a year ago, maybe not to the 350 range or that. I think that would cause some sort of a pause in sales. Not again necessarily that in the long term it would have an impact on overall volumes. We're starting to see more loans into the subprime sector. If interest rates go up, maybe some of that subprime market would kind of retract again. So that might have an effect over the course of this year on whether or not we have a 17 million year or a 16.8 million year. The Jeep Renegade, the Chevrolet Trax, a couple others coming on, the Fiat 500X. Those will just exacerbate the growth that we're seeing in that segment, which is coming really from small cars for the most part. And again, I think that probably comes back to the gasoline prices. That's helping grow those what we call crossover segments, or the SUVs that are more like a car. Overall, I think the luxury market, car and truck, is probably, in terms of market penetration, is going to be flat this year with last year. Obviously, since we'll have a bigger industry volume, that will grow. But as long as there's that move, especially to the crossover part, because it is the large luxury sport utility vehicle type trucks, but also the mid-size crossovers and large luxury crossovers is where we're seeing that growth. Right now, I'd kind of give the edge to General Motors and to Chrysler, or Fiat Chrysler now as it's called. They have more product compared to Ford that's on the crossover and the truck side that is doing real well. Jeep, the new 200, Chrysler 200, is doing well and making up a lot of the lost volume that went away when the Dodge Avenger was eliminated from the lineup. So on the whole, I would give those two the upper hand.